The THANATOS-5 is one of the most underrated rifles in game. Do you agree? Let's be honest, how many of you have been disappointed at the performance of the THANATOS-5? I have to admit, I am one of them. Initially, I thought it was meant to perform just like the other overpowered THANATOS-7 and 9, but after using it for a while, I'll show you on how to take full advantage of this weapon. First of all, the THANATOS-5 is a support weapon. You can say that it sounds counterintuitive, but the main power lies in the grenade. The problem is, the grenade doesn't explode once on contact, but it splits into several child grenades that are sensitive to the touch, and when they miss, they go wasted. There are two outcomes of the grenade. The first case is very common. The child grenades are chucked all around the area and the user hopes all of them will deal splash damage to enemies. The second one, however, is rewarding but difficult to master. Most, if not all grenades explode in a matter of seconds right after coming in contact with a hitbox. Notice that all of them gets clumped up together. How do we get the second result more often? Before we proceed, here's how the grenade works. When the first projectile explodes, it splits into 4 smaller grenades in a 2x2 square. A few seconds later, they explode into several smaller grenades in a 3x3 larger square. And at this stage, the damage is ramped up by its numbers, not to mention the splash damage. But how do we prevent all, if not most of them, from falling onto the ground? The secret is by exploiting the hitbox of the enemy. This generally applies to zombie scenario whereby bosses' size are much larger, making it possible for the grenades to detonate simultaneously. And to do so, we tend to launch the grenade in an arc that it lands on the enemy. Why? Because the moment it lands on top of it, the other grenades will rain on the target, so the other hitboxes are also affected, such as the arms and feet. On the other hand, if you just fire at the target, the first grenade will only detonate, leaving the others untouched. Now, before you get all excited and start bringing out the gun in battles, take note that this method greatly differs between bosses, so trial and error is needed. By understanding the grenade patterns and experimenting at the same time, you can then assess which hitboxes are the most exposed. Let's take the Bio Scorpion for example. If the grenade lands on top of it, the moment it starts to heal itself, most of the grenades would explode at once. But remember when I said earlier that launching right towards the enemy was a bad idea? Not when it's rushing towards you, because when it does, the grenades do not have time to drop before they come into contact with its claws. See the logic? No? Let's take a look at this video. Now, what happens when we use the drop from the above method? So that's how we fully exploit the grenade's efficiency. In zombie modes, the hitboxes are much smaller and zombies zigzag towards you, so it's not recommended unless you are with teammates or hiding in the vents. But rarely, this happens. And that's how you understand how the THANATOS-5 works. Give it a try and let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.